think it's better now. Yes. All right. Is it light enough? Hello, HL. Teixeira. Hello, Jael. So let me pin the comment here. Today we have a special chat. Hello, Carlos. How are you? Special guest. So, just a minute. So, chat with teacher. At super. I think it's already here, but I can't see it. Super English BR. Alright, here we go. Post. I hope this is right. Okay, let me get my phone. Alright, so hello Carlos. I'm great too. I'm doing fine. I'm surviving the heat. You're in Rio, right? How is the weather there? Is it still that hot? I heard it's pretty hot these days. It's been very, very warm. Okay, hello. Hello, Marcelo Ferreira. Let me add the phones here. Excellent. Hello, Susanna. How are you? Yes, here it's 30 degrees Celsius. In the evening, it's 9 p.m. and it's 30 degrees Celsius. Let's see what's going to happen during the summer, right? Summer days. Yeah, we're melting here too. Hello, Lily. How are you? Oh, you don't feel... How is the weather there, by the way? Has it started snowing yet or not yet? Tell me. Tell us. We want to know. Teacher Pamela said that it hasn't started snowing yet in Toronto. So I guess in some parts of North America, right? It has started snowing, but in other parts it hasn't. But it's cold. It's pretty cold. Fry eggs on the street. Os dois, yes. Okay. Is this better now? I think it's better now. All right, so Super English is here. Let's add him. This is so exciting. Getting to know everyone. Let's see if it will work. Let's wait a little bit. Time mais querido, hello. Mauricio, hi. For Gomes, hello, how are you? How are you doing? So, how long have you guys been learning English? Have you been learning English for a long time? There's no... It's 4 degrees. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm great. What about you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Oh, your sound is excellent. That's awesome. That's so nice to finally be talking to you. It's such a pleasure. It's really nice to start getting to know the teachers and people involved in the language learning process. And we've been following you for a long time. It's a great... so let's start by telling people to follow Super English. So how do you prefer us to call you? Is it Thiago or?
Like people usually call me JC, so I think you could go like through that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mentioned that we would be chatting this evening somewhere, and I think it was Carlos who said, "Oh, is it JC?" I think yes. So
yeah,
this
is because my whole name is João Carlos Thiago, so it's a very long name. So JC I prefer like people just started calling me JC, you know. So and then now people call me JC, you know.
You have many fans. A lot of people told me they would be watching this. You have many fans.
Oh, really? So, oh, that's nice. I'm glad. I'm glad.
Yeah. So, JC, why don't you start telling us, introducing yourself, right, to people who might not know you, and also telling us a little bit about your language learning journey, right, and how you became a teacher later on, maybe something like that.
Yeah. So, yeah, like as everybody knows, I guess now I'm an English teacher. So,
Yeah.
and I've been teaching English for about 5 years now, I think, but not in a row, like because I got into college, like in the past 4 years, I was into college, and then I just couldn't teach English anymore, So I kind of picked it back up this year, at the beginning of this year, So, and I love doing what I do, I love being an English teacher, and I love helping people out, And yeah, and like it all started like back in 2012 when I used to live in London, So that was my first contact with the English language,
Right.
And by the time, I was living there, it was like very difficult for me because I didn't know any English, like literally, like I couldn't even like ask like basic questions, like I didn't know like the difference between how many and how much, So, so I had to, like I had to grind, to get to the level that I'm at like now, today.
Which is fantastic. Again, it was 2012.
2012, yeah.
Wow. And what did you do? So I bet you have many tips, right?
First thing, I enrolled, in an English course, of course, and it was like a very effective English course. It's called Cullen method.
Yes, I've heard of
like
it.
Cullen method, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a very dynamic method, and it's very practical, and I just loved it. And from that point on, I just like wanted to learn more and more, and I wanted to talk to people, but it was a bit hard for me at the beginning because like it's hard to live in a foreign country, and especially if you don't speak the language, So it was hard for me to make friends with native speakers because I just couldn't, like speak their language. And my strategy, because I'm Christian, so my strategy was to start attending a church, and then started getting around and talking to people, to native speakers, that was like my main strategy by the time. But actually, I didn't live in London for like a very long time, like for so long, because like I decided to come back to Brazil, so I lived there from 2012 to 2013, like for just a year and a half, just for a year and a half. And then, but before that, I used to live in Italy. I think most people know, like, that.
I don't know. I didn't know that. Really?
Yeah,
so cool.
I think most of at least most of my followers, I think they know that I've already lived in Italy, before. And I lived there from 2008 up to 2011. Like it was like around about 4 years, And then I decided to come back to Brazil in 2013.
Right.
And then since then I'm just I'm just teaching English here in Brazil.
That's fabulous. So wait a moment. You lived in Italy for around 4 years.
Around 4 years, yeah.
did you live in the same city or did you move a little bit?
You mean like, what do you mean like in the same city?
No, did you live in different cities in Italy?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I lived in Milan, you know, but Milan is a very big city, you know, so it has like many, I think the way people call it in English, I think it's counties, I think.
Okay, yeah, The kind of division they have there, okay.
Yeah, but like basically I lived in Milan, you know, Milan.
Nice. So did you learn some Italian? You did, right? So 4 years. Italian is so similar to Portuguese,
I did high
right?
school. You know, I did high school there. So, yeah.
Okay. Wow. So it's your fellow polyglot. That's so cool.
Actually, my Italian, it's still good. You know, I need to brush up on it, but it's still good. You know. But I mean, it used to be like way better than my English, you know. But now I think my English has gotten better because that's all I do now. Like, you know, that's my work, that's my job, you know. So English is my life now.
I think I need a pen to take some notes here because you mentioned some things. For example, the focus we have, right? If we focus more on anything in life, but let's say languages. If we're focusing more on one language, of course, it will become stronger, our strongest, right? Because it's the one that's being most used. And the others we tend to forget. We don't lose it, like students who say that, oh, I had classes or lessons many years ago and I lost everything, I don't know anything anymore. They actually have, I believe they have the knowledge, but they need to brush up, like you're saying, to reactivate, right, what they learned and continue practicing and improving. Yeah. The other thing that you said, go ahead.
I mean, like one thing that I like about our mind is that it's very, I mean, it's much more powerful than we think it is. Our mind, our brain, you know, because like. Sometimes you just feel that you're not capable of speaking like a language anymore. In my case, Italian, and then you suddenly meet someone like an Italian on the streets, and then you start talking to him or to her, you know, and then like you just like start remembering the words and. You know, like, I don't know, like the way our mind or brain works, it's like, it's very weird, you know, and sometimes, you know, and even like if you're feeling relaxed, if you're feeling like not nervous, you know, like relaxed, you always have a better performance. Yeah. You know, than you think you're capable of, you know. So if I get nervous, then I start to, you know, being like you start forgetting words and making mistakes. But if you feel relaxed, you know, then you always like, at least I think it is the case, like you always have a better performance than you think that you're capable of, you know. Yeah,
I feel that way too. It's if you can find a way to relax, right? To, I don't know if it's possible. Sometimes it's not possible, but if you're preparing for something, it's nice to listen. I like to listen to music, to do things like that. But it's nice because you're telling us about your experience, and we feel that students feel this way many times, and we as students, we are students too, we feel this too because we are human beings in the end. Everybody here, we are all human beings. We feel this way. Especially towards something that is new, right? A new situation, and this happens. So it's important to relax. Yes. Right?
Like it's super important to be relaxed, you know, like to do whatever thing you have to do, you know. And the more relaxed you are, it's all about like your mindset, and it's all about your state of mind. You know, like the more relaxed we are, the better we perform. You know, like that's just something that's so true. You know.
It is. It is. The other thing you mentioned is that you started to really make progress, I think, with your English after you joined this community, the church, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying that because I think that another tip is having a community that supports you. I think it's very important for us when we are learning a language to be surrounded by people who is supportive. Right? Even if they don't speak the language. In your case, yes, they did, or they do,
they were
and this is awesome, right?
They were very, very friendly, you know. And because, like, I don't know, like, church is not like as the real world, you know. Like, people in church usually they are like very friendly and help me a lot, you know, even to grow my confidence, you know. And one thing that I think that is the most important thing when it comes to language learning is not being afraid of making mistakes, you know.
Wow, this is so important. Can never stress this enough.
That's because, like, as I always say to my students, you know, language learning is like a huge puzzle, and you have like hundreds of possibilities and pieces, you know, and there's no way you're not going to make any mistake. You have to make mistakes, you know, because that's the way our brain learns, you know. And I realized that the more I practice and the more I've realized that the more I practice and the more I make mistakes, the better I become, and the faster it is, like the faster I learn English, you know.
And how do you feel about feedback? How much feedback do you need, or how much feedback do you feel your students need? I'm asking this question as a teacher and as a language learner. So what are your thoughts on that, on feedback?
Yeah, I mean, I think that feedback, it works this way. So the lower your level, the harder it is for you to have feedback on your English, you know, or to get feedback on your English, you know. So I think that as you become better, you know, at English, you start to get in feedback. I mean, automatic feedback and natural feedback. You know, like there's no need for someone else to give you feedback. You know, as you become better at English. You know, so at the very beginning, it's very important to have someone to help you out and to give you feedback. You know, on your English. But as you become better, I think it's like you become more autonomous. You know. And you don't, like, you start becoming, so like autonomous, and you don't really need like people to be around you giving you feedback.
Oh, the dogs. I'm sorry about the dogs, but my neighbor has a lot of dogs. But oh my God, I was going to ask you something about feedback. I just got distracted here. What was it? Got lost. Oh, I remember. Yeah, I think one question is sometimes students ask for feedback all the time. So you're trying to have a conversation and you just talked about mistakes. Students are supposed to make mistakes to learn, right? So there is a balance there. I just forgot what I was going to say.
I think it's it depends. I mean, it would be weird if you kept studying English and not making progress. So
I think people,
I mean, like go ahead.
People become more aware, right? Because after some time, you kind of know the basic rules and vocabulary and stuff, and with exposure, you kind of can correct yourself, self-correct, right? Because you know that you're doing something wrong, and you know the answer, and you need to use your brain to correct yourself. You cannot depend on somebody else all the time to keep right, correcting the same things all the time. But this comes with time, you know. It takes time to come to this point.
And let me just add something like, I think that there are 3 phases to language learning. You know, the first phase is when you are not able yet to correct yourself, as you said. You know, you just make mistakes and you're not aware of your mistakes. You know, you just like keep making the same mistakes over and over because you've not gained knowledge yet. You know. I mean, enough knowledge. You know. And the second phase is when you still make a lot of mistakes, but like fewer mistakes, but still like a huge number of mistakes. You know, a great deal of mistakes. But you start realizing that, like, you start being aware of the mistakes. You know, you just don't have enough practice to not make those kind of mistakes anymore, but you still make mistakes. You know, like it's common to make mistakes. Then the third phase is when you make a lot fewer mistakes. You know. And you just like become more confident, and you can express yourself in a much easier way. You know, I think that there's these 3 phases to language learning. You know?
How did you overcome your fear of speaking in the very beginning? Was it the people you met at the church, or you know, do you remember those first few days when we started risking more? And making longer sentences and pronouncing words in the wrong way, maybe in the very, very beginning. Do you remember how it was for you? I mean, but you know, I think that the more you know about something, sometimes the less confident you are, because now you are aware of a lot of things. Because like when you don't know, like that, I don't know, when you don't know that how long time is a mistake, you keep saying that, and that's no problem. That's okay for you, you know. But by the time you learn that how long time is not correct, you have to say how long, not how long time, then by the time you have the kind of knowledge, you are aware of that, then, and you keep making that kind of mistake, then you feel less confident or less, I don't know, like, let's say confident. But I think that the secret and the key to learning languages is to not giving up, you know. I mean, like, it's part of, it's part of the process, you know. I still make a lot of mistakes because I don't live in the US, and I don't speak English on a daily basis, you know. And I mean, honestly, it's very rare for me to speak English, you know, with a native speaker. You know, most of the time, I usually speak to myself. I usually speak with myself in English. You know, like have like kind of monologues, you know, like where I talk to myself. You know. That's the way I practice. Today, well, that's what I do too, or at least that's what I did. Now, my life changed because of Instagram. I was going to ask you about how did you come up with this idea to have a channel here on Instagram? Because we started our channel, it's been a little over a year, it was October last year. In the beginning, we were a little overwhelmed. We didn't know exactly what to do here. And for a very long time, we didn't have this feature here. We couldn't talk to somebody else. So I decided to just maintain the account, and I created another account where I could learn languages, because I love doing that. And I had started learning a few of these Romance languages a long time ago, more than 20 years ago, Italian, French, and Spanish, a little bit for around a year each. And then there was this gap, this huge gap. This year, I decided to experiment with Instagram, and I chose a bizarre language to learn, which is Polish, and to to test it as a tool, right? And I was so excited that I started to brush up on these other languages too. I'm still learning Polish. It's been 9 months now, and I fell in love with the language. But the thing is, I'm part of a polyglot community, people connected with language learning. So teachers and learners in general. And the language everyone uses to communicate is English, right? So English is if you want to talk to people, you have to know it. You have, like, you don't have to not even use it not even be at an advanced level, because many of those people in other countries are not. You know, they don't have an advanced knowledge of English. They have accents, and this is so cool. Everybody, I was going to ask you about this too. I ask everybody about what are your thoughts on accents, and because being in touch with these people, you know, I see that it's valued. People value when you have an accent, and it kind of makes the experience even richer when you're talking to other people from other countries. What do you think about that? Because you've lived abroad, right? So what do you think?
You know, I think that learning a foreign language is all about communication. You know, it doesn't matter if you have like a very thick accent, as long as you are able to communicate, you know, like to express yourself and be understood, and also understand, you know, the speaker, you know, the other person.
Connection, right? Connecting.
Yeah, it's all about connection, communication, you know. I like working on my accent, but I know that I still have a Brazilian accent, and that's okay for me, you know. I just, I like, you know, like, I think, you know, as I said, the purpose of working on your accent should be being more clear, you know, having a clearer English, you know. So I don't think that people should worry too much about their accent, you know. I think they should worry about being able to express their ideas, their thoughts, and able to communicate, you know. And it's nice that, it's nice that people, like, if you get to talk to a person from, let's say, I don't know, like Italy, and then that in English, I mean, you know, you will realize that they have their own accent, their Italian accent. And if you get to speak to a person from, I don't know, Spain, they have a total different accent, you know, a Spanish accent. We have our Brazilian accent, and that's totally fine. And as I said, because a lot of people keep beating themselves up, you know, because they want to have a perfect accent, and that's not going to be the case, you know, like, because it takes a lot of time to perfect your accent. Yes,
and you like to. This is something that you like to do. This is optional, and you like to work on your accents, right? So yeah, continue and tell us about your experience as someone who has been practicing for a long time.
You know, like, what has helped me a lot is the phonetic alphabet, the IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet. So ever since I found out that there was a phonetic alphabet, I started working on it and trying to understand it, and then my pronunciation got a lot better, you know. And no, but people should keep in their minds that it's not just about pronunciation, it's also about accent and pronunciation are two different things, you know.
Yeah.
You can have good pronunciation skills, and not have like a good accent, you know. So so having good pronunciation is much easier than having good accent.
Yeah.
Now, because accent is the rhythm of the language, the intonation and the stress. You know, you have to know when to stress, when not to stress a syllable and things like that. So, and that only comes naturally. You know, you cannot force that. You cannot fake that. You can kind of fake
in the beginning, maybe. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, you can kind of fake pronunciation, but not accent,
Yeah.
because people will, like, a native speaker will realize it
right
that
away.
you're not a native speaker.
Yeah.
Right away. Yeah. Right away. Yeah. But I mean, the message is, the takeaway from this message is, don't worry about pronunciation too much. You know, don't just like. The main thing, as I said before, is communication. As long as you can express yourself, I think that it's much it's much better to be able to express yourself clearly and with ease in English, you know, than having great pronunciation and not being able to express your thoughts.
Yes.
You know, like, and then you just hesitating a lot.
Totally.
You know, it's nice to have like it's nice when your English flows. You know, like.
Yes. Yeah. Now, changing the subject a little bit here, because I'm taking a look at the comments. Carlos mentioned something here related to aging, getting older, and if it has a connection, right, between becoming older and having more problems to learn anything and hear a language. Do you think there is a connection? Do you think that we tend to, it becomes harder for us to learn stuff as we become older?
I don't think that age really matters. You know, I think that what matters the most is, for example, in my case, before learning English, I already knew Italian, you know, and knowing Italian helped me a lot with English because I already had gone through the process, through the language learning process. So language was my third language. So by the time I started learning English, I had already learned Portuguese, my native language, and also Italian, my second language, and then English was my third language. You know, so I think more than age, people should focus on their, let's say, knowledge. You know, if you like, it's like if you're a person that have been, like if you have been, or if you're a person that has been learning like languages for a very long time, it's normal that it becomes easier and easier for you to learn other languages. And if you're a note person that has never learned any language, so it's normal that you'll have more and more difficulty, you know. Because you have to start building in your head a structure, you have to start from scratch, right? So it depends on how much experience you have doing certain things. So Tawan, right? Tawan is saying, thanks for sharing your knowledge with us, of course. And it's like, it's like, for example, let's say that you used to skateboard as a kid, and then you decide to switch to surfing. So if you skateboarded before, then it's gonna be easier for you to like knowing how to surf. You know what I mean? Like, because you already have
some kind of muscle memory, right? We remember, and the balance that you need, and the muscle memory is there. And I think actually muscle memory works even when we speak. We need to know what we need to do with everything here. Everything, our teeth, our lips, our tongue, our throat, everything. And this counts too. What else? Let's see if there are other questions. So Eudson is here. Hello. I'm not from America. I'm Brazilian. I am from Belo Horizonte in Minas Gerais. Where are you from? You're not from Rio. I thought you were from Rio. Where are you from, JC?
I'm from Paraná.
Paraná, okay. Oh, so it's not so hot, right? Like it is here. Oh my God.
It gets really hot. It gets really hot. Yeah. I'm kind of tanned now, you know, looking a bit like my skin is darker than usual now because the sun is very hot.
It's hot. Yeah. Oh, Zabazakeri 21 is saying that your voice is unique. You have a beautiful voice. Do you sing? Are you a singer?
No,
you're not. Sing, no. Oh my God, you should. Sing. What's her name? My name is Erika. I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself. I'm teacher Erika, and I like to know a little about me. Okay, ask questions. Feel free to ask questions. You can ask questions too, no problem. And by the way, yeah, so I'm not American. Agree. Our lane functions peculiarly. What's this? You can't have it in your control. Our brain, I think, right, works in mysterious ways, maybe. Yeah, people have been researching, doing a lot of research on brains, right, to try to find out more, because like you said, it's there is so much going on there that we don't know, and learning about it and learning about how our mental processes work can help in learning a language. And by the way, do you like those memorization techniques? What do you do to remember? And what do you tell your students? How can they learn like vocabulary and remember, right? Because you're saying that when we get nervous and there is a situation in which you have to speak, there's a blank and we can't remember anything. But for example, you're relaxed and you're talking to someone, how can the students remember? You know, phrasal verbs, phrases, idioms, vocabulary. What do you think?
So the most important thing is consistency, you know, studying every single day, you know, that way you can keep things in your mind in an effective way, you know. But like, I don't have like a good memory, to be honest. So what I do and what I suggest people do is using Anki, you know, the app. Anki.
Yeah. And by the way, you have a book, right? You have a book.
Yeah,
Tell us about your book. Yeah. Tell us about your book.
So far I've written 2 ebooks. You know, the first one is about pronunciation, about the IPA, that, as I mentioned before, the International Phonetic Alphabet, and where I teach people how to use the alphabet, this alphabet, you know.
Oh, nice.
And become like able to learn pronunciation by themselves, you know, not having the need to have a person, you know, or a teacher to teach you pronunciation.
Yeah.
And the second ebook is on how to learn English with Netflix, like series and movies, you know. So I share some techniques, you know, that I find to be very effective, and also some suggestions of series, you know, like that I find to be also to be very efficient to learn English, you know. The second ebook is a bit shorter, it's like 10 pages long. And the first one is a bit longer, it's like 25 pages long.
Yeah, but it's
people usually are
valuable information. What? People are what?
Yeah, and if people want to download the ebooks, they're free, you know, and they can find the link in my bio, you know, and in my on my profile.
Send me after the live stream. Send me all the information people need to get in touch with you. All the links, because I'll save this and I'll upload it to our channel and put all the links there so people can access it. Eudson is a student and he's saying your accent is great. He loves your accent. So,
yeah, I think they mean my maybe pronunciation, because accent, I still have a Brazilian accent, and that's totally fine for me, you know. But pronunciation maybe, you know, because I like working on my pronunciation.
Yeah, that's good. Tawan is saying that he's an English coach, and he helps. He helps learners to lose the fear of speaking. Yeah, this is what I see. Sometimes I'm doing a live stream here, it's just me, and I want to talk to people. You know, there is a whole hour when people can talk. There is a chance for people to practice, to say anything they want, and they just don't. They don't. You know, the people who accept that is just our students, which is great, our students, because they're used to that. They speak the whole class, so they're used to speaking a lot. And so here it's the same, right? And do you think people might feel shy because of the reaction of other people, of being like speaking in public here?
I think that like our culture, you know, our culture is like works that way, you know. People are usually afraid of exposing themselves and in public, you know, and making mistakes, you know. Like it's not just about English, you know, it's about other things. So like, because like usually I think that here in Brazil, we have this culture where it's unacceptable to make mistakes, and if you're, maybe if you're an English teacher, you should never ever make any kind of mistake, because you gotta be perfect and you gotta have perfect English, and if you don't sound like a native, then you're not a good teacher. So I think our culture works that way, and I think we lose a lot, you know, like
we do. Yes. Oh my God, so much.
People could be a lot better at countless things, you know, if they didn't have the kind of mindset, you know, because like people from other countries, maybe people from Japan, they have a very thick accent. But I'm sure that they speak English much better than most Brazilians, and they express themselves much better, I mean, than most Brazilians, because they're just not afraid of making mistakes and speaking up, you know.
Yeah. Because one thing is when we don't want to speak because we are afraid of making mistakes. The other thing is when there is someone here risking, right, and talking and speaking and trying and practicing, and then you're watching and criticizing. So this behavior, I've been watching a few TED Talks about this. I love it when they talk about, I don't know if you've heard of those two types of mindsets, right? There is the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. I love that because
I read that book.
It's fantastic. It's fabulous. And these two kinds of mindsets, they can define where your language learning is going, or if it's not going anywhere, right? So you can just get stuck there because you're criticizing yourself too much and you're afraid other people will do the same, right? And
usually people think that it's all about natural talent. You know, either were born, you either were born that way, or you cannot achieve the same level as a person who is good at something. You know, people think that it's all about talent. It's not all about talent. It's all about effort. You know, putting in the time, putting in the energy, you know, the effort. And like in my case, I study a lot, you know, like I spend a lot of time on English, you know, like doing researches and things like that. And that's why I got to the level where I am today, you know. And people think that oh, maybe JC like has that, like has the level of English that he has because he's talented. You know, he never had to make like a single effort, you know, like to get to the level that he is today, you know. So, and yeah, it's all about grinding, you know, like working hard. And yeah, so people think that, oh, like what I wanted to add also is that people see like a lot of teachers on Instagram that seem to have perfect pronunciation, perfect English, you know, but they never expose themselves. They never go live, you know. They just record some like some tips, you know, some videos, but you never get to know how good their English is, because they just don't want to expose themselves, and they want people to think that they have like perfect English, and that gives people a wrong idea of what language learning and like learning English is. You gotta make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. I doubt that there's an English teacher in Brazil that is like has perfect English, has like native like English. No,
I'm going even further, because natives make mistakes, right? We make mistakes in I make mistakes in Portuguese, that's for sure. You know, because we are all human beings. It's not possible to not make mistakes. You know, it doesn't matter. Whatever you do, you will eventually at some point make a mistake. So accept that, embrace it, use it as something to push you forward, right? Challenge yourself all the time. And yeah, it's like Tawan here is saying, you shouldn't care about other people think. Just speak up. I'm totally behind you here, 100%. I used to say to myself, I'm an English speaker. Yes, no need for panic. No need for panic. No need for panic. This is one of the reasons here. I've been trying to talk to everyone, not just teachers, but students too. So about recording videos. Okay, I want to talk about that. We started recording our first videos. It's been 2 years for our YouTube channel. And in the beginning, it was very, I wouldn't say scary, but it was kind of awkward. It was very awkward, because I like to say that when you first see your face on the video and hear your voice, and in my case, right, you have a beautiful voice. But I was, oh my God, I sound like that. My face is like that. Everything is horrible. I had that feeling. But then I said, but I really want to do this, because I like to convey, you know, the knowledge. The knowledge is the most important thing for me. And I want to do this, to make videos. So in my mind, I decided that I would make a lot of videos. That's what we do until today. Because the more videos we make, the more normal it becomes. It's not a big deal anymore, right? It's normal. So we started.
I used to get very nervous. Like when I first started recording videos. You know, I would feel like I would like sweat a lot, and I would I would like panic. You know, because I think that, you know, I have a theory. I think that when you don't have like many followers, when the only people that watch your videos are the people you know, like the closest people to you, is when you feel more embarrassed about recording videos, because only those people are going to watch your videos, people that you know in person, mostly, you know. And as you start getting more followers, then you start recording videos not only for people that you know, but for people that you don't know. And then you start not caring about that anymore, because like the people that you don't know are much, let's see, there are many more people that you don't know than people that you do know. And then you start like not giving, you know, anymore, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
because I like to be an actor when I record videos. I don't like to be myself, you know. I like to be very, I don't know how can I say that.
Be creative and express your creativity.
It's fun. I used to record videos. I used to record videos like this though. So today we're going to learn the phrasal verb, and now I'm like, oh, today guys, we're going to learn the phrasal verb. You know, I move my hand, I try to move my body. You know, like to give that sense of I don't know if there's
the energy and energy also.
Yeah. So I love doing that way.
Yeah. What happened is that in the end of last year, yes, when we created the account here. It was, I always mention the name of this student, Bruna. Follow her English learning diary. She started using Instagram, she started following teachers to learn English. And when she told me, I thought that was such a great idea and had a lot of potential. And I said, Bruna, yes, so why don't you, because you can record yourself, you have the limit, 1 minute limit. Why don't you start recording yourself to practice? You don't have to wait for the class to speak. You can practice in between the classes by recording yourself. She was very shy, of course, naturally. And I proposed this to the other students too. I told them, it's a great idea to record yourselves and to watch what's going on when you speak. It's a way to figure out where your strongest points are and what you need to work on and improve. It's very good. I told them it didn't catch on. It didn't work a lot, very well, because, I don't know, for many reasons. But that idea, I kept that idea in my head, and I decided in the beginning of the year to start doing that, to record myself and learn a language and see how well it works. So in my account, I just make videos. It's just videos. I'm learning Polish by recording videos. It's basically that, at least in this first year. And it's been fabulous because my pronunciation is, I'm very happy with it. Of course, I cannot speak in Polish because I need to know more how the grammar works and I need to remember the words, the vocabulary and stuff. But I feel super comfortable with the sounds and I can understand when I listen to podcasts, for example, and I don't understand everything, but I understand like, I don't know, 5%, something like that. And this will, of course, improve with time. So I like it a lot. And I know that some people don't like to record these videos, but I feel that we gain a lot by, you know, you need to start speaking in a more clear way, articulate the words better and things like that. So I don't know, I think it's a fantastic way to practice. For some people, some of our students, they have private accounts. So it's just me and Newton, just us. We can watch them and give some feedback. But Bruna, for example, has a public account and she has been following everybody, teachers, learners, students, everybody now with the polyglots. She's excited. She wants to learn other languages too. And I feel that she has improved a lot and gained a lot of confidence in this year especially. And one thing that I tell the students also, a secret plan, my secret goal is that they learn English and use it to learn other things, right? Other languages or anything else they want, because there's just so much, what time is it? So much material in English on the internet available, right? Because when you do a search on the internet, in what language is it? Is it in Portuguese?
When I look something up on the internet.
Yes.
Yeah, I usually look things up on the internet in English because it gets you better results, you know. Yes,
exactly. So
I was talking about that with my friend today, and about my TCC, you know, from college, and I told them that I wouldn't have been able to to do the thesis that I worked on if I didn't know English, because all the things were in English. You know, all the articles, everything was in English. So I wouldn't have been able to do it if I didn't know English, you know. So that's the importance of knowing English, you know. Yeah. Especially if you're a graduate, you know, like if you're in college, you must know English. You have to know English, you know.
You have to know English. Taiwan is saying many interesting things here. All his comments are interesting. Yeah, about accent, you're right. Who doesn't have an accent, right? Even native speakers, yes. I don't know if we have time here, but I was watching, I found on YouTube a very short series. It's a guy who is an accent coach. I think he's American, and he is amazing, amazing. He knows everything about how this system here, the phonetic system works, and he analyzes. Try to find this video. It's Wired. The channel is Wired, W-I-R-E-D, and the series, oh my God, I don't know, but he analyzes the accents of actors and actresses in different movies and TV shows, because actors and actresses, they have sometimes to learn a specific accent. And sometimes they have to learn an idiolect. It is the way one person speaks, which is unique. Sometimes they have to do that. So this coach analyzes the job, if the actor or the actress did a good job or not. It's fantastic. The videos are like 30 minutes long. You know, he examined so many different accents. It's fantastic, and it's a whole new world accents. It's amazing. Try to find that.
I think, you know, like one thing that is true. One thing that is true is people who are good at imitating other people are the ones who usually have better accents and better pronunciation. Because, like, for example, there's a guy, I think his name is André Marinho, and he's Brazilian, and he imitates Trump perfectly, and also Bolsonaro, like all the famous guys, all the famous politicians nowadays, he knows how to imitate them perfectly, you know. And usually people who are good at imitating other people are the ones who have better pronunciation, accent, and things like that.
Yes. And it's something that takes a lot of practice, right? Tawan is also mentioning shadowing, speaking along with the video or audio text. This is very important, right? To use recordings and text transcripts.
What I do, I always speak out loud when I'm studying English. You know, I always try to speak out loud. You know.
It is very important. Tawan has been studying for about 4 years and a half. Tawan, let's do a live stream together. I'm going to follow you and invite you for a live stream.
I know him. He's an English teacher. He's also an English teacher.
Awesome.
Yeah, he is.
He does. Oh, Tawan is saying that you sing. That you sing. You're hiding. You're hiding something there.
I'm saying now.
Oh, say something in Italian. Do you remember in Italian? Che cosa fai? Che cosa fai?
Che cosa fai? Che cosa fai?
Come stai? Come stai?
Come stai? Perfetto.
Sto bene.
Sto bene. Perfetto.
No può
brava.
No,
non parlo l'italiano.
Non parlo italiano.
It's like bravo or brava when when they want to say that you're good at something, you know, like to make a compliment, you know. Brava, bravo.
Yes. Oh, that's so cool that you speak Italian too. I love that. So I just remember idiom, something related to it here. Yes, for me it's hard. Oh, we have 30 seconds left. This live flew by. That was such a pleasure to meet you and to talk to you. That was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks for the invitation. It was a pleasure. I hope to be here again. And
yes,
yeah,
definitely.
and I hope you guys like the tips and suggestions, and that's it.
Thanks.
So
Thanks.
take
Thank
care,
you,
guys.
everybody.